Welcome back to these digestible learning sessions of the traditional Chenmanching Yang style form. And today the good news is that there's only one new move that we're going to be learning today, and the rest will be an opportunity to practice and integrate what we have already learned so far. And so to begin, we will come into our square stance and shift over to the right, turn out our left foot 45 degrees, being good to our knees, stepping just in front of where the toe was. And in the beginning, I like to have my square paper towel or piece of paper at the ready so I can check and see, am I way out in front and too long, or am I way out to the side and too wide? And that just gives me a little pattern to help me come into this square stance, which then will help to release my hips, help me to feel a sense of sit, and feel more open here in the qua area of Tai Chi, what we call the hips. And just beginning to shift our stool back and forth here. A reminder that for the most part, the shoulders and the hips are facing forward, just like if we were sitting in a chair. And then finding our way to the back. And a little review of holding that beach ball size sphere. Coming in to ward off right. The left hands point towards the right wrist as we shift our weight back for a roll back. Both hands swing, hips swivel as we come into press. And in press, our weight is pretty much in the center, maybe a little bit more towards the front. And then let it go a little bit more towards the front. And we're going to now shift our weight back, and it's almost like there's a tree or a post that we were hugging. And as we shift our weight back, that's going to bring apart our hands just about shoulder width. And then we're on our back leg. And then we shift our weight forward into push. And that's our new move for today, push. So just standing up for a moment. Moving anything that might like to be moved while still in our square stance. And let's just take it from the end of press. So we've just landed, our left hand has just landed onto our right, slightly covering the palm and the wrist of the right hand. And our weight is moving towards the front. And then we begin to shift our weight back, and our hands come around that post. And then come forward into push. Again, standing up for a moment. And then sitting in our chair again. And we land that left hand onto our right. We're shifting forward. We shift back. And we come forward into push. Noticing that we're not coming way forward. We're coming to where we would feel most strong if we were actually pushing something like a car. And then dropping the hands, let's go all the way back to holding our large beach ball size sphere. Ward off right. Roll back. Breath. And here's the new one. We shift our weight back to come into push. With a sense of sit. Stepping the back foot up. And going for our walkabout. Taking at least one full leisurely breath. And we'll set up that series again, weight shifting to the right to turn out our left, to come into square stance, to holding our sphere, ward off, right, roll back, breath, and push. Stepping the back foot up, going for a little walkabout. Feel free to move the arms, the shoulders. Sometimes, especially as we're learning the form, we can get a bit tense, even though Tai Chi is all about relaxation. Starting now in Uji, we're going to add back in the first two moves, that transition that's going to have us do that sequence we were just doing, all to the right wall. Opening move. Holding our sphere here. Ward off left. Bringing that right hand underneath to hold our large beach ball, all of our weight on our left foot. That allows us to turn out our right foot, and we ward off right. As our hips turn to face the right wall, our left foot, our back foot turns in 45 degrees. And we find square stance facing the right wall, sitting in our chair, being good to our knees. Left fingers point to the right wrist. We roll back. Swing and swivel into press. Shifting our weight back to come into push. Sitting in our chair. Finding where we would be most strong. Stepping the back foot up. And ending this part of the form with return to Uji. going for a walkabout, finding our way into Uji stance, finding a leisurely breath. Opening move. Holding our sphere in toward off left. And actually all of this is called grasping sparrow's tail. So we're now holding our large beach ball, turning out our right foot, ward off right, turning in the back foot. We're in square stance facing the right wall. Fingers trace down the wrists, down the forearm, swinging, landing in press, shifting our hands back around the post, letting them come forward for push, and feeling that lay down of the shoulders to the torso, lay down of the upper body to the lower body with sit. And then stepping the back foot forward, return to Uji. And if one would like, as you become familiar with that opening stretch of the form, can do it in each of the four directions. So when you end here, then you could begin again facing this direction. And that's one way you can string together what you have learned of the form into a longer form that has the variation of the four directions. Or just continue to practice facing forward with the support of a video like this. A little preview for a move that's going to come next. So see if you can just find your way into square stance with the right leg forward, facing the right wall. And if you'd like, you can use your tool and check to see if indeed your heels would be basically on the diagonal of a square. And now we're going to shift our weight onto the back leg and do a kind of interesting pigeon-toed move. And so without any weight on the right leg, see what it would be like to bring in and face, let the toes of the back foot actually face forward. And if that doesn't feel good at all, just step it. Step it wherever feels good. Modify as needed. But the idea is that we become pigeon-toed. And then as you shift your weight onto that back leg, notice how that kind of opens the back body through the hips. The sense of Bai Kai Dang. Just shifting back and forth here, seeing how this stance feels for you. Seeing where you might like to modify it. For this is where we will be heading next. I can just step out of that. Give anything a shake that's asking for it. And we'll end with 3 return to Ujis. And a moment of just being in Uji. Nothing to do. And hope to see you back for more of these digestible, bite-sized learning sessions. Next time we're going to be going into the turn of single whip and beginning to bring it home for the first 16 moves of the Chen Manqing Yang style.